It was supposed to be a respectful, nostalgic interview with one of Hollywood's most legendary figures. Clint Eastwood, the 94-year-old actor and director known for his gritty roles and no-nonsense attitude, was invited to The View to talk about his career, politics, and his upcoming film No Mercy Left. But what unfolded on live television quickly spiraled into one of the most intense and controversial moments in the show's history. The calm before the storm. As the show began, the audience erupted in applause. Clint walked onto the stage with his trademark squint and half smile. Whoopi Goldberg welcomed him warmly, praising his legacy. Sonny Hostin asked thoughtful questions about his early career and how Hollywood had changed since the 1960s. Everything seemed civil, until Joy Behar brought up politics. Clint, in recent years, you've been quite vocal about your conservative views, Joy began. Do you think Hollywood has been too lenient with people who spread misinformation? Clint leaned forward, squinting slightly. Hollywood's been too loud, not too lenient. Everyone's yelling, nobody's listening. I say what I believe, and I don't apologize for it. Joy responded, but when what you say contributes to division and misinformation, shouldn't you be held accountable? Clint snapped back, you want accountability? Start with the loudest voices on this show. The clash escalates. The audience gasped. Joy, clearly stunned, tried to regain control. So, are you saying this show spreads misinformation? Clint shrugged. I've seen more propaganda on The View than in a Dirty Harry script. Whoopi tried to diffuse the tension, but Clint wasn't done. You all sit here, week after week, attacking anyone who doesn't toe your line. You don't want a view, you want a mirror that reflects only what you believe. Joy stood up. That's enough. We invited you here to have a conversation, not to insult everyone on this panel. And I came here for a conversation, not an interrogation, Clint replied. His tone was calm but icy. At that point, executive producers stepped in behind the scenes. The segment went to an unscheduled commercial break. When they returned, Clint was gone from his seat. Backstage fallout. Sources later reported that Clint had stormed off the set during the break, refusing to return. Security escorted him out quietly, but not before he reportedly said, "Next time someone wants to talk about freedom of speech, don't invite me on a show where only one opinion is allowed." Joy was visibly shaken when the show resumed. Whoopi tried to keep the energy light, but the tension lingered. Social media erupted within minutes. Clips of the confrontation went viral. Supporters hailed Clint as a truth teller, while critics accused him of being disrespectful and outdated. Aftermath. Clint Eastwood released a short statement later that day. Greater than, I've spent my life telling stories about people who stood their ground. I did the same today. That's all I'll say about it. Joy Behar addressed the incident the next morning on The View, saying, "We welcome different opinions, but not when they're delivered with hostility and contempt." The incident reignited debates around free speech, cancel culture, and the role of politics in entertainment. Final scene. While some called it a meltdown, others called it a moment of clarity in a media landscape driven by outrage. Clint may have been kicked off The View, but he once again proved that even at 94, he still commands a room, whether they like it or not. By the next morning, Clint Eastwood's walk-off had become the top headline across entertainment networks and political talk shows alike. Twitter, now X, was ablaze with hashtags like #ClintVsTheView, #LetClintSpeak, and #JoyBeharMeltdown. Fox News praised Eastwood for standing tall in a lion's den of liberal voices, while The Daily Show sarcastically referred to it as Gran Torino, live on daytime TV. Celebrities chimed in too. James Woods tweeted, "Clint Eastwood is a legend. That panel couldn't handle 60 seconds of truth." Alyssa Milano responded, "Being a legend doesn't give you the right to hijack a conversation with toxic old-school arrogance." Even Chris Pratt posted a cryptic message on Instagram, "When the room turns on you, stay standing." #respect. Clint's name was back in headlines, this time not for a new movie, but for a new cultural moment. Scene 2. Joy's exclusive interview. The next day, Joy Behar agreed to an exclusive sit-down interview with Good Morning America to give her side of the story. "He came in already ready to fight," Joy said. "We had hoped for a conversation about his career and beliefs, not a lecture on how our show represents everything wrong with the world." She denied shutting Clint down, but admitted, I could have handled it better. He pushed my buttons, and I pushed back. When asked if she regretted anything, Joy sighed, I regret that we didn't get to hear from the filmmaker. We only saw the fighter. Scene 3. Clint's comeback. 2 days later, Clint Eastwood made a surprise appearance on Tucker Carlson's online show. Dressed in a dusty leather jacket, seated in a simple wooden chair, Clint gave a calm but cutting reflection. Greater than, they invited me to talk. I talked. If they didn't like what I had to say, that's their right. But don't pretend to be shocked. I've been this man for 50 years. He then turned the moment into promotion for his new film, No Mercy Left. Greater than, this isn't just a movie. It's a message. We're losing the grit, the freedom to speak raw truth, even when it's uncomfortable. The interview received over 30 million views in 48 hours. Pre-orders for No Mercy Left spiked overnight. Scene 4. Behind closed doors at The View. Reports leaked that ABC executives were furious, not at Clint, but at The View's production team. A leaked email from a top-level producer read, Greater than, you don't book Clint Eastwood expecting soft answers. You book him knowing he's going to shake things up, and you better be ready. Tensions reportedly rose between panel members, with Whoopi allegedly warning producers not to invite lions and then complain when they roar. Scene 5. A silent finale. A week later, Eastwood returned to his home in Carmel, California. When asked by a reporter if he'd appear on another talk show, he smirked and said, only if I get to bring my horse. His official statement, posted on his rarely used Facebook page, read, Greater than, I'm not mad. I'm not bitter. I just don't like fake rooms pretending to be real ones. That's all. Epilogue. The View continued as usual, but fans noticed a subtle shift. Fewer controversial guests, more light-hearted interviews. Some say Clint Eastwood left more than an empty chair, he left a challenge. And in Hollywood, a lesson echoed. You don't invite Clint Eastwood for a polite chat. You invite him for a showdown, and he never misses.